I want to make a distinction with regard to the nomenclature of the Act, not on the basis that this is an imposition of Hindi. I want all my friends from the Treasury branch to be kindly attentive. I am making a very constructive suggestion. Please don't treat this as an opposition to Hindi or an imposition of Hindi. I like Hindi, I can speak a bit of Hindi, but I have a very important point to make. So the point I am making is, Madam, the point I am making is, Article 348 1B continues to exist in the Constitution of India. If I may just refer to it, I thought I'll start with this book, but I thought that my friends in the Treasury bench might have a problem with this book, so I've kept this aside. I have brought a different constitution. Sir, I have brought a different book. I think the Honorable Minister will like the color of this book better. Sir, Article 348(1). Sir, please understand that I am coming from a very constructive space. This is not a criticism. I just want my friends to be open by listening to a legal point. I'm a lawyer by profession, sir. So 348 says, language to be used for acts and bills among Supreme Court, High Court. Sir, 348(1) says, notwithstanding anything in the foregoing provisions of this part of the Constitution, until Parliament by law otherwise provides. Now the B says, sir, clause B says, the authoritative text of all bills to be introduced or amendments thereto to be moved in either house of the Parliament or in the house of either house of the legislature of a state. Sir, I am omitting the irrelevant parts. Last part says, shall be in English language. So this issue came up when we passed the criminal law bills. In fact, I had supported the criminal law bills. The only suggestion I had was the title is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshya BSA. Sir. This is the problem I have. I had suggested please have an English title along with Hindi because the Constitution requires the authoritative text to be in English. The government was advised, and this is the reason given to the House, sir. The government was advised, madam, I'm sorry. The reason given to the House was that we have obtained an opinion. The opinion says the authoritative text can be in English language. Title will not be part of the authoritative text. Therefore, title can be in Sanskrit or Hindi. Madam, I have verified thereafter. I have done a lot of research. Now, authoritative text has been understood both under the Constitution and subsequent laws made by this Parliament to mean not what is the title. Authoritative text means whatever is contained in the bill. An English bill will have everything in English. Constitution provides this can be translated in Hindi. It specifically provides that it shall be translated in Hindi. Article 394 capital A. Every act, हर जो कानून, हर जो बिल पार्लियामेंट में पालित होता है, मतलब लाया जाता है, प्लीज एक्सक्यूज माई हिंदी, I'll try to speak, so I'm trying to convince the maximum number of people that I'm not anti-Hindi. I can speak Hindi and I'll try to speak Hindi. हर जो कानून पार्लियामेंट में, it is brought before the parliament, it needs to be translated in an authoritative text in Hindi. Agar, if the criminal law bills retained IBC, or in this case, if the law retained the word Aircraft Act, 394A में जो ट्रांसलेशन होगा वो ट्रांसलेशन में भारतीय वायुयान अधिनियम नाम आ सकता है सर 394A में. मगर जब तक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ये आर्टिकल है, आप इंग्लिश बिल में हिंदी या संस्कृत वर्ड्स यूज करेंगे, वी आर नाउ गोइंग टू हैव द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ a constitutional court, a high court or the Supreme Court striking down this part, saying that this part is unconstitutional because Article 348 1B requires authoritative text to be in English. Yes, Parliament can have an authoritative text in Hindi also. Entirety of that authoritative text in Hindi, madam, can be in Hindi. From the title, every single word, every single syllable can be in Hindi. But once you are bringing a bill in English, the authoritative text, and madam, if I may just show this very act, this bill, in the preliminary section, it says, this bill shall be called Bharatiya Vayuyan Videyak. So it uses Hindi words. Now this is a mistake we have made in the criminal law. So the issue that I have is, now apart from these two articles that I have brought, originally it was contemplated in the constitution that this will be an arrangement that will be made only for 15 years. 15 साल में हिंदी को ये स्थिति में लाया जाएगा कि भारतीय देश में सब लोग हिंदी शायद बोलना शुरू करेंगे. मैडम, इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, अगर आप बोलेंगे मुझे बैठना है तो बैठ लेता हूं, मगर मैं आपसे विनती करता हूं. आई हैव वेटेड फॉर 2 days. आई एम मेकिंग ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन, बट आई एम इन योर हैंड्स. If you want me to stop, I can stop. But I think, madam, this is something where the House I may be able to assist the House. And I am not trying to speak for myself. I am trying to speak for 56% of Indian population which does not have Hindi as a mother tongue. Again, as I say, not to oppose. Please give me 4 or 5 minutes. I will not waste 1 minute, madam.
One minute, please conclude.
Now, 15 years was the original time stipulated. The parliament realized that 15 years we have not been able to elevate Hindi to that level. Now that is our fault. If we have not been able to elevate Hindi where everybody can understand, the parliament then said, we recognize this fact. In 1963, madam, we brought the Official Languages Act in 1963. Very importantly, 2 years prior to the 15 years coming to an end, because we understood that we are not in that position. This act, madam, comes into force on 26th of January 1965, exactly 15 years after the constitution. Isme ye continue, it was written that until law were to be made otherwise, the provisions with regard to the bills in English being in English will continue. This provided, apart from Hindi, jo 394A mein hai, madam, there's a separate clause, ki every bill will be translated into Hindi. This provided it will also be translated into all the official languages which are a part of the schedule. So, sir, the point that I am making is, बाद में we have made an authoritative text, Central Laws Act. Now, the simple converse example आप देख लीजिए.
Thank you, honourable member.
Madam, I'll just use one last sentence. अगर, if the criminal law bills retained IBC, or in this case, if the law retained the word Aircraft Act, 394A में जो ट्रांसलेशन होगा, वो ट्रांसलेशन में भारतीय वायुयान अधिनियम नाम आ सकता है सर 394A में. मगर जब तक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ये आर्टिकल है, आप इंग्लिश बिल में हिंदी या संस्कृत वर्ड्स यूज करेंगे, वी आर नाउ गोइंग टू हैव द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ a constitutional court, a high court or the Supreme Court striking down this part